again, Degrassi alumni. Welcome back to another episode of the D-Grads podcast, your Degrassi rewatch podcast, with your host, Shane Warren Kipple, as my passport says, who played Gavin Spinner Mason.
And myself, Mike Lobel, a.k.a. Jay Hogarth.
A.k.a. also known as.
It's my a.k.a.
alias.
It's on my rap sheet.
If one has an alias, one also deserves a good alibi. And I know what you're currently doing on December 6th at 12:58 p.m. Eastern time. You're with me. So if anyone
asks,
if anyone shows up dead in this time frame, worry,
this could be a pre-recording. Could be a pre-recording that we're.
Like this is me actually chumming the water, saying like, oh no, this
right.
is where we are, but this is not what we were doing at this time. Anyway,
anything untoward that could be happening right now is not in fact happening.
This is a very exciting day for me. You know why?
Why is
because
that?
my brand new laptop is in the mail.
Hey! Oh my
yes,
gosh!
I know,
Welcome
I know,
to the
I know.
21st century.
And I have you.
Shane's laptop is made out of sticks and rocks.
Hey, that's not true. I think there's some rubber bands in there. But no, this is all thanks to you, Mike. We were chatting not too long ago, and you happened to. I was talking about that I needed a new laptop, and you said, "Hey, I think there's some great Black Friday deals on Amazon right now." To which I said, "I didn't know Apple ever had deals." And you saved me like close to $400 on my new laptop, Mike.
I was going to say, I'm a really good deal sniffer. I can smell out the deal, but it was Black Friday, to be fair. And we were all being inundated with emails and being completely hit over the head by companies and businesses.
Yeah, which I usually just overlook, but thank heavens for you.
I read all those emails, so you didn't have to.
Thank you. That's what I pay you for. Checks in the mail. Yeah. So exciting. It arrives on Monday. And I could not be happier about that. Anything exciting to report on your end, Mike?
Literally zero. I was dancing around to Christmas music this morning because it's December 6th. And I thought, you know what? The latch is off, man.
Yeah.
I'm out of the box. It's happening.
What tune were you jamming to?
It's funny because like I'm not a huge fan of like all the sort of typical Christmas carols that you hear in shopping centers. They're overplayed. I love the like hunting for the obscure stuff. And I found this awesome Spotify playlist that was just full of obscure Christmas carols that you've never heard of by artists you've never heard of. And it was so refreshing.
So there's no Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas is
None of that.
In your house.
None of that.
All right.
And I will say I am a Love Actually fan. I know that's going to divide some of the audience, but it's true. And yet, no, I have not watched that movie in a while. I'm choosing to keep the memory untainted on my shelf. Perfect. I don't need to see it in the context of today.
Can I tell you that all of the Christmas carols and hymns that I know, psalms, are all from the Home Alone 1 and 2 movies. That's how I know as a Jew.
Those are the greatest. Yeah.
O Night Divine is up. Anyway, I could talk about that.
O Night Divine.
Yeah.
You actually know the names of these. What is that song? What? Explain it. Just sing it.
No, I will not sing it.
I love this. I love goading people into singing songs.
Fall on your knees and hear the angels' voices. Oh, night divine.
Oh, the one that makes me cry a little bit when you realize that the bad guy is actually the good guy.
Home Alone 1, Kevin McAllister was walking into the cathedral, and yes, he talked to the neighborhood killer.
The mummies in the barrel?
Yes.
And he says, I've got a grandson about your age.
Anyway, that's where I know my carols from.
Amazing.
All right, we should probably talk about Degrassi because that's
Let's talk
what I
about
think people are here
Degrassi.
for. All right, so we are on to Rumors and Reputations. That's season 1, episode 10. And anytime I read this episode title, I just think of Mad TV when they were doing their dating service for people that just couldn't find good people to date, and it was called Lowered Expectations.
Oh, Lowered Expectations.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my God, I love
so
that.
that Rumors and Reputations, all I hear is Lowered Expectations, which is also a shout out to Nicole Sullivan that we got to hang out with.
That's true. Oh, she's so cool and
she was
sweet
so
and
cool.
fun.
She was so funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Degrassi. We should really talk about Degrassi.
We really got to talk about Degrassi.
Rumors and Reputations came out on January 6, 2002. The teleplay was by Myra Fried. The story was by Yan Moore and Aaron Martin. And the director was Paul Fox. You ever work with Paul Fox?
I don't remember Paul. Did you? Yeah, well, you were in this episode.
Yes. So I worked with him here. I worked with him on Life with Derek. I worked with him on something else. I really do like Paul Fox.
Dude,
so
whatever he did
Paul,
with the camera, whatever he did with the camera team on this episode, double thumbs up. The camera is super dynamic and always moving. I think there's a steady cam in there in some places. It's very fast and whip panny, and I thought it was really cool for this episode.
So you're a fan of Paul Fox. That would make both of us fans of Paul Fox. Paul, wherever you are today, I hope you're listening, or I hope this gets back to you. Great man. Great man. Anyway, now for my segment, What Happened Today?
Take us back.
January 6, 2002. The Billboard Hot 100. Usher, You Got It Bad. Nickelback, How You Remind Me. Mary J. Blige, Family Affair. J-Lo and Ja Rule, I'm Real. And Shakira, Whenever, Wherever. Shakira makes her smash hit debut. That's cool. Number 1 album really has to be toppled off its throne by this point. Weathered by Creed. I'm so sick of saying that.
Down from there. Get down from there.
It's already higher. Someone take it lower. You know what I mean? No, you can't go any higher. I would welcome it back down to our level with arms wide open, you know?
My goodness. How many wordplay puns can you fit in here?
I don't know. I would keep going, but that's my sacrifice, you know?
My God. Killing me today.
At the box office, we have Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, A Beautiful Mind, Ocean's 11, Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, and The Royal Tenenbaums.
Love that movie.
Yes, Wes
That's
Anderson.
A good holiday movie watch. Tenenbaums. It's got a holiday vibe.
Now, nothing interesting happened in the world on January 6, 2002 that would be relevant to this podcast per se, but on January 1st, 2002, New Year's Day, aka, the euro became the official legal tender in 12 EU countries. All right. And, actually, what am I talking about? January 6th, something did happen. The Boston Globe, I found this to be interesting. The Boston Globe published its first article detailing patterns of sexual assault in the Catholic Church.
That was the Spotlight case.
That was the Spotlight case, exactly.
Oh, wow.
And we know everything that stemmed from that. So it was on this day.
Kind of connects
6th.
a little bit with Rumors and Reputations, doesn't it?
Ah, there you go. Lowered expectations, you mean. The episode begins with Emma going to hand in an assignment to Armstrong, and we see through the glass, the looking glass, if you will. Armstrong seems to be consoling Liberty, who's sitting at a desk. She's emotional. She's upset about something that we do not know. And Armstrong is quite close to her, has his arm around her. It doesn't seem sexual in nature, but it's definitely suspect that he's a little bit too close to her. They are the only two people in the room. And Emma obviously is on high alert for any adult taking advantage of children after what she went through in Mother and Child Reunion.
And also the ice cream cone suit man.
That's right. Last week.
Yeah.
So that is how the episode starts. And you see Emma is visibly upset. And when Emma's upset, you know that she's not going to let that go until she gets to the bottom of it. So
she's on a mission. She's got to do the right thing.
Yes. So
do the right thing, kids.
Emma then quickly confronts Liberty and asks her if everything was okay. She saw her with Armstrong, and Liberty brushes it off, tells Emma to mind her own business. What is Liberty hiding? Is it something? Is it what we suspect? Is it what Emma suspects? Or is it something entirely different? Time will tell.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Yeah. Okay. Now Emma and JT are sitting on a bench in front of the school, and Emma is once again closely watching Armstrong, and she wants to know JT's opinion on if he's a good guy or not, which essentially.
But JT's too busy. JT's too busy telling everybody that he made his mom laugh so hard by telling a joke that she projectiled milk from her nose the previous day. And I just thought, that's a hilarious grade school flex.
Oh, yes.
You know how I know I'm funny? My mom laughs so hard at my jokes.
Yeah, that's right.
What a absolutely not cool.
Your mom is everyone's toughest audience, but also the cheerleader at the same time.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
she'll judge hardest, but she'll always, give you the nod for trying no matter what. JT has his review on Armstrong seems to be everything is above board. But as they're having this conversation, Emma sees Liberty. Armstrong then approaches Liberty. They have some quiet, close words, and then Armstrong sneakily, suspiciously checks over his shoulder and then hands Liberty a note of some kind.
You're right. It is very sus the way he does that, especially for an adult.
Yeah.
And knowing what I know now, it's just it's like extra sus.
Yeah. It was like he was buying drugs off of her or passing drugs to her.
Looking around.
Exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
Man.
Yeah.
This is the point too in the episode where I'm like, I am noticing the camera technique is very different because the camera is whipping around the front of the school. It's going from person to person in pretty long lens close-ups, and we're like on this. It's almost like a ride. We're like strapped into this ride in the camera, and I do think it works really well for this episode because it is about rumors in a school, and so we have to get all of these quick sort of takes from all of these different people
to see how
to
see
how everybody's
all the ears,
so really
and
cool.
all the eyes, and
exactly this feeling of like the ever presence of the student body chattering and talking and rumoring and all that stuff,
and how quickly things can be overheard and then branch out,
spread
into a wildfire
of
rumors and reputations.
That's right. Paul Fox. It's Paul Fox special. All right. So obviously Emma does not like that in the wake of what she just saw from Armstrong and Liberty in the classroom. Now he's passing her notes in suspicious form. Now Spinner and Jimmy enter the cafeteria, and Spinner right away. Well, first we meet lunch lady Sheila, who is hilarious. Was her name Andrea? That's right. Sheila was played by Maria Vakratzas,
who was in my big fat Greek wedding.
That's right. Yeah.
She was so funny.
She's so funny. She's been in a ton of movies.
It was very hard to contain my laughter.
Yeah, she played Aunt Frida in My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and Sophia in Mamma Mia. Here we go again. Mama, how could I forget you? Mamma Mia.
So, but that is our lunch lady, and you can tell right off the bat that her and Spinner, they're at ends with each other. They don't. He annoys her. She has no time for this kid.
I love that she says directly to you, like, I cannot wait till you're gone.
I cannot. Yeah. It might take you a few extra years, but I can't wait till you graduate. Yeah, it's true. But Spinner, he gets this slop put in front of him and makes a joke about how it's actually directly from the toilets. And the food just does not seem up to Spinner's standards. Spinner cares a lot about his food. I know this because I care a lot about my food, and I played Spinner. So they round the corner, and Spinner finds an earwig in his squash, which he quickly flicks onto a nearby girl's hair. And then
I
goes
just
back.
want to say, like, I want to say no earwigs were harmed during the making of this episode, but
They definitely were not.
know.
They definitely were not,
Really?
and I
Okay.
could attest to that because the earwig wrangler would not have allowed that to happen.
There was an earwig wrangler.
There was
Wow.
an
Of course,
earwig
of
wrangler.
course.
I will not get into it right now. I'll wait for the big climax of the earwig storyline, but I'll tell you all about that. But anyway, so Spinner finds the bug. He gets rid of it really quickly. He goes back to Sheila to tell her that he found a bug in the food. She does not believe it, and the evidence is squashed under a foot. And to clarify, there was no bug under that was a fake bug at that point. But she does not believe him. Now Spinner is very irritated because he doesn't like the food. He found a bug. Nobody is there to hear his cries. And this is not going to sit for Spinner. This is going to be the hill that he dies on for some reason. We are back with Emma, who now wants to know Manny's opinion on Armstrong being a good guy. She asks, has Armstrong ever touched her? Which Manny quickly dispels Emma of and asks if Armstrong ever did anything to her. Which then Emma goes on to tell Manny what she saw happening with Liberty. But as she's telling her about this, we creep around the corner of the hallway and we see that Terry has overheard at least some of this conversation.
She's standing there against the wall like a spy. Like she's like flattened herself. And
Yeah.
it's clearly, this is interesting because it's clearly a very private conversation. It's hushed. It's between Emma and Manny.
Yeah,
And
that
Terry's
maybe
just like right in there.
Maybe you shouldn't do it at the crux of a hallway, you know? Like
It's a little
Yeah.
extra. She's going through it's effort to try to
Yeah.
eavesdrop on that.
This would have warranted a trip to the bathroom. You know? Paige
Yeah.
would have done
Yeah.
this in the
That's
bathroom.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. The lockers are not safe.
No. Find a dark corner. Don't do it right out in the open. But anyway, Spinner now telling everybody, all of his friends, about the earwig that he found. And no one believes him because I guess he is the boy that cried wolf. Everyone's sick about hearing about how he feels about the food and how he feels about Sheila. And now he's talking about this bug. No one believes him.
It's actually funny how everybody sees through Spinner. Like no one's buying it at all for a second through. So obviously you do Spinner. I always say you. I always refer to you,
That's
but
fine.
Spinner, I
That's
should be
fine.
referring to the character.
That's fine.
Spinner
Mike.
obviously has been trying to take down the lunchroom for quite some time now. Like this is his mission, as you say, hill to die on. It's his mission in life is to
Which
take
also,
down
like,
this lunchroom.
Does he have a plan for what comes after? You're just going to take down the cafeteria and what? Where are you going to eat?
And he's going to just be sitting there with his, I don't know, homemade sandwich,
Yeah.
smiling,
That he
enjoying his
definitely
life.
doesn't know how to make his own food. So I was like, what, bread and sawdust, right?
He's shooting himself in the foot at this point.
How hilarious would it be if he just started making sandwiches full, like bread and earwigs, and was like, this is all I actually really want to
This
eat.
is what I want.
No one believes him. Jimmy won't even support him, though Jimmy was right there when he saw the bug. I found
That's
that
right,
to be
because
kinda
Quan
cool.
enters,
Quan
hearing
enters.
what Spinner has said.
Those are serious allegations. You better be able to back it up. Spinner obviously could not because the evidence was squashed.
Squashed underfoot.
There was
quite
squash
literally.
and then a squash bug with the squash. There's a lot of squash.
There's a lot of, it's a lot of gourd references in this episode. Just to point out, the writers are really kind of ham-fisting the theme of the show into the words of Quan here, saying you can't just make claims without evidence. It's very apropos of what's happening in the A plot.
It's also very apropos of just the culture of accusations in this day and age. On social media, where when someone has an opinion in mind, they get it out there and then it takes on a life of its own.
Isn't it incredible? This is before social media.
Yes, kids, there was a time before social media.
We're old. But yeah, no, it's crazy how much noise there is out there, like how many spinners there are out there.
Fun fact you just reminded me of, we are so old, Mike, that I distinctly remember when I was getting a new computer when I was, I don't know, 10, 11 years old. And
this is like the flashback to the origin of the computer that you're replacing this week?
Maybe. But I remember asking my dad at the time, Dad, could we get one with a CD-ROM drive and internet access? Yeah.
I want to play King's Quest.
Now CD-ROMs are archaic technology. Back then, it was all the rage. That was, and it was an upgrade. Now, can you even ask for your computer? No, you need to buy a separate.
You don't get
CD-ROM.
a CD-ROM.
No, you don't. Right.
It costs like $1 million to get a CD-ROM installed right now.
Oh my gosh. Anyway,
what am I going to do with all my physical media? Oh my God.
Back to Degrassi, which is what we should be talking about always. All
in Armstrong's class now.
We are in Armstrong's. He's not there yet, but Terry looks distraught with the news that she obviously overheard, and now she's apprehensive of seeing Armstrong, the culprit, come in there, and she has no poker face. Paige sees this, asks her what's going on, gets it out of Terry by saying, like, come on, it's me, you can trust me. Maybe Terry should have been wise to that act, but alas, Terry tells her everything. Paige then turns right around and lets Hazel know this is what she just heard. So no, you can't report a rumor through proper channels, but you certainly can start your own rumor about it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to tell everybody now. It is a bit of a contradiction there. But yeah, no, this is the boy who cried wolf parable in modern times. Although it's not so modern anymore. When this episode came out, it feels antique now. Then Paige goes and immediately starts tip-tap typing on her. What the heck is that? Like
it's a BlueBerry laptop? Mike, it's a BlueBerry. It's the precursor to a BlackBerry.
That technology was like around for 10 weeks max.
Yes, but you know who knew about it? Aubrey was always on the bleeding edge of all new so Aubrey
always had the newest phone. He was always tip tap texting somebody on set.
Yep.
I remember there would be takes where he would just be like, in between takes, his fingers would be buzzing. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, and lock it up, and picture, and sound, and then the phone, he'd like hit send, stash his phone, and say a line.
Yep, pretty much.
But it was funny because the assistant directors sometimes were like, Aubrey, put your phone down.
Yeah. And he was the first one to be taking that. Because up until then, it was like texting was not that. Nah, actually, that's not accurate. Texting was still a pretty big thing, but it
was just hard to do. It was so tedious.
Smartphones were like really where that technology, the texting aspect, exploded, and then suddenly people were on their phones all the time. They were on their phones a lot before
internet. The lingo, like text lingo, right? Like you up, or like using simplified grammar was just completely out of necessity because it took forever. We had the QWERTY keyboard or whatever. We had to do every number had 3 letters, and you'd have to cycle through to like get your C. Yeah. You have to go 111 to get to a C. So it took forever to type.
enough about the technology that Paige was using to text Hazel. The fact is that Paige turned around and told Hazel something about a version of what you just heard from Terry. Now, and I think this is the first time you see Hazel.
The rumor montage.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
We see Hazel first. It's her very first welcome to class. Hazel Aiden, welcome to class.
And then Hazel is in the hallway walking down the stairs. And now her version of the story is he drove her. They were seen kissing in Armstrong's car, which Sean overhears. And then his brain turns it into, he gave her a ride into school and this is happening, which then Spinner, in his fantastic brain, just turns into a simplified version. Armstrong and Liberty are doing it. And
broken
Jimmy,
telephone, anyone?
Yes. And Jimmy, being very rational and level-headed, took it at face value. And when he told Ashley, didn't change a word of it. Armstrong, Liberty, doing it, to Ashley silently mouthing, "Is this true?" And Jimmy go, yeah, verifiable information. But that's how quickly this thing spread.
How it works.
And got out
I
of
love
control.
this montage. The whip pan, there's whip pans all through it from left to right, and it's reminiscent of Degrassi's opening credits, where that's how they get through every character. They're just whipping from birth. So it's cool to see like the style of the show is really being formed in this
They're doing
first season.
whatever it takes to get through.
Oh, snap, snappity snap. You're on fire today.
I am. Woo! Okay. So Ashley needs now she has what is it? Student council meeting where they're talking about the assembly, a school show that's coming up. But Ashley takes this as the moment to ask Liberty if everything is okay, if there's any validity to this rumor.
Well, Ashley is actually gossiping in front of, like at the student council meeting, Ashley's gossiping in front of Liberty. She's like, and Liberty's sitting right there.
Yeah, but it's like the Toby plate drop.
Totally. Another example of them just like not taking any effort in hiding the fact that they're gossiping.
Yeah. But it's like the three cameras set up in a sitcom where it's like, can I talk to you privately for a second and take a step and a half that way?
No one else can hear us.
Yes, no one can.
But we are projecting for the entire audience to hear.
It's stage. It's stage. That's
it's
all
theater.
it is.
It's theater.
It's the wrong form. Okay, but Ashley, after taking a little bit to get Liberty to understand what this rumor has turned into, Liberty vehemently denies and storms off afterwards, visibly upset. And Ashley feels really bad about this.
That's an act end there, I think.
It is a new day. Emma and the gang are on the front steps inside the school, and they're chatting more about this rumor. Everyone's stressed out about it. Emma wants to talk to Liberty. They are all considering reporting it, even though it's not really verified in any way, and everyone involved seems to be denying it. Liberty walks in and sees that everyone has obviously been talking about her, which immediately upsets her. She runs off to the bathroom, and Emma follows. It's time to get to the bottom of it. Go right to the source.
Can I just say, and this might be a tangent, but the beginning of that scene where we're outside of the school and we're seeing a whole bunch of extras, background performers, walking up into class, doing stuff, crossing the street. There's a group of dudes that are throwing a football.
I saw that,
but because the shot's so tight, they're throwing it like 5 feet to each other.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Tommy Wiseau's movie, The Room? The famous,
I have not. Like the movie that's an expose in everything that you don't do in a movie. Is that
but it's like it's so wonderfully bad. It's so wonderfully just off. It's in this sort of uncanny valley thing that it's entertaining to watch.
Right, but it's not supposed to. It's not making fun of itself, right? Like it was actually.
No,
it just
it's
came
totally
out really bad.
earnestly trying to do. Yeah, and I love Tommy, and I'm not throwing shade, but there's a scene in that movie where a bunch of the guys are throwing a football. They're like, let's go play football. And they're in this, like, just a bricked off tiny little space. And because it's so tight, they're throwing this football, like trying to be like a meaningful game of catch in a park, but they're like 5 feet away from each other. I looked at the dates of this episode, and this came out before Tommy Wiseau's The Room. And I was just wondering, did Tommy Wiseau see this episode and get the idea of this cramped football game from that?
I see.
It's a crazy fan theory, but that's what I'm proposing.
Didn't he also take a Smithy credit on that? Or
Who?
No?
Tommy?
Tommy, yeah.
No, he is proudly presented himself on the front. Yeah, he's also the lead actor in it.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Just listen, please go down the rabbit hole. Greg Sestero, who was one of the other cast members, wrote an amazing book, which was then subsequently turned into a feature film by Seth Rogen, The Disaster Artist. It's amazing. Anyways, just go do yourself a favor this Christmas.
Also, for those of you that don't understand the reference that I just made, a Smithy credit, an Alan Smithy credit, would be in film jargon. It's when a director, for one reason or another, does not want to be attached to the project that he created. Maybe it did not come out the way that he wanted. Maybe his vision sort of split away from what the production, what the producers wanted from him, forced him in to doing so. Whatever it was, he doesn't want to be associated with the project anymore. So he actually, I'm saying they, whoever it is, take their name off of the project, and it's replaced with just a generic Alan Smithy, he is not a real person. He is.
Have you ever worked with a director who's taken an Alan Smithy credit?
No. Have you?
Yes, I have. I did a car commercial once upon a time, and they got this big director to come in and direct it. The director, Tony Kaye, who had done American History X.
I knew you were going to say, because he took
an Alan Smithy on that because Edward Norton pretty much took over. I heard the cut was like middling, taking forever. He was very protective of it. And then the producers and Edward Norton really wanted this thing to get out. Edward Norton said, look, I've got a vision for this. I'm going to finish it. And that's what I heard. And that's a story for another time, but it was the most bizarre experience on set I have ever had. I'm not going to do that here, but maybe it'll come up again.
Is anything ever out there in the theaters where director says Alan Smithy? Does that ever happen?
Probably.
Yeah.
Let's look into it. Look up Alan Smithy on IMDb.
Yes.
Folks, you got to do some research. Internet's got internet. We got to know which films have a director who refused to take credit.
Yes, essentially that is like the John Doe of directors.
Exactly.
So now Emma and Liberty are in the bathroom, and Emma asks Liberty about this rumor. Is it true? Which Liberty says no, it's just a vicious rumor. And we find out that Liberty is not just upset about the rumor itself and what it means for her, but now she's worried because she's close with Armstrong. She's worried about what this means for his career. If Principal Radich finds out, it's becoming a very icky situation. And Liberty is powerless to stop it. So Emma now comes up with the idea that if it's not true, we got to stop it from spreading anymore, and we got to trace it back to its source. So now Emma is on a mission to help her friend out. And once again, when Emma's mind is set on something, nothing's going to stop her there.
Cue another montage.
Not yet. First, it's a new day, and Spinner seems to
be... That's right. Yeah.
He seems to be retracting his story about the earwig, because Terry makes a joke, backhanded comment about if he found any food bugs in his food that morning. Spinner says, I made a mistake, okay? Sue me. Jimmy is taken aback by this and like, why you found a bug? What do you mean? Why are you denying it now? He's like, oh, because if no one is going to believe me, well, then I guess it didn't happen. This confuses Jimmy that much more, to which Spinner, I guess, couldn't contain his excitement anymore, pulls Jimmy over to a corner. And see, this is where you have a private conversation. It's a corner, not the middle of a hallway. Anyway, Spinner
Where's
shows
Terry?
Jim.
Terry should be lurking around.
Spinner hands Jimmy a container, and this one actually hurt when Jimmy said, this better not be tuna salad. What's wrong with tuna salad? I love tuna salad.
You put a little melted cheese on top, maybe some chives.
Yeah, yes.
Pepper, if you're into that kind
a
of
tuna
thing.
melt with Munster cheese.
You always gotta melt the cheese, bro.
Open faced. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on them trying to put tuna salad in a bad light. But Jimmy opens up the container and sees that it is full of earwigs. And Spinner's plan now is to make a case of bugs being in the food that is undeniable. Oh, what a kid.
And a little science experiment, because Spinner says like it took me hours to find all these earwigs. How many bloody hours did it take Spinner? Because I think it would take more than just a few hours to find that. If there was somebody enterprising enough to do a science experiment for us, I would love to know how long that would take.
Well, you don't know. Like he might have gone down into the sewers, go to the source, and then he had to sift through all the cockroaches to find the earwigs.
That's right. He had to get Master Splinter to tell him where all the earwigs were hiding. He had to train a bunch of earwigs. Gross.
All right. So now we're back with Emma.
Now I get to say it. Cue the montage.
Here we go. So Emma's tracing back the rumor. First, Ashley, where'd you hear it from? Well, I heard it from Jimmy, but he heard it from Spinner. Spinner goes, nah, I heard it from Sean. Sean says, well, I heard it from Hazel. Who heard it from Paige? Who heard it from Terry? So now Emma is talking to Terry, who delightfully says, Paige, I swore her to secrecy, which is just hilarious. And even Emma finds that a little, tough to take seriously. But Emma thinks that Terry is the root of this thing, tells her you have to tell people it's not true. You started this rumor, to which Terry turns around and says, Emma, I overheard you telling Manny about this. You started the rumor.
Breadcrumbs lead back to Emma.
Could you imagine, just put yourself in Emma's shoes for a moment here. Could you imagine a vicious rumor starts about one of your friends and then you find out that you were actually the one that started that rumor, and there's you might have ruined a bunch of reputations irreparably along the way, and you literally had no idea that you were actually the one that started that. That's a messed up thing to have to sit with. Poor Emma, you gotta feel for her. But
no, she's in it now.
Yeah, but there's no love for her at this point. No one's here. We as the audience can go like, ugh, that really sucks for her. I feel bad. But her friends have not quite gotten to that point of understanding and empathy yet. It's just anger.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. So now we are in the cafeteria. This is the climax of the earwig story. Now I can talk about the earwig wrangler. Yes, we had an earwig wrangler to make sure that no earwigs were hurt during the making of this film, which they were not. He was a very, very, he looked sort of like a mad scientist dressed down. He was a little disheveled.
As you would expect.
He spends his time with
earwigs,
with critters. I think all sorts, but
my earwigs are my best friends.
So he doesn't need to dress up for the bugs,
No.
But he was a very friendly guy, but also very exacting and very protective of the critters, which, understandably, he didn't want any of them to be hurt. Now, these were before the days of when CGI was accessible to just about every production for, depending on what you pay for it, a low price. And I had to handle these earwigs. I actually had to have a handful of earwigs. Now, they are not my favorite bug, by a long shot. I don't think they make my list of top 10. But I did. This is not quite like Daniel Stern having to put that tarantula on his face in Home Alone.
Oh, yeah. Nice callback, baby.
Yeah. Which actually, I don't know.
Which is real.
It's real because the fake one just didn't
look fake. Yeah, of course.
It wasn't looking
like
real enough.
Super close up.
But did you know that tarantulas are pretty docile, but if you scare them, they can bite, they can attack. They also do a weird thing where they kind of like shoot some of those hairs, right? Exactly. Yeah. And they're irritants, right? But so Daniel Stern had to scream, obviously. But they're like, you can't scream. It could really scare the thing. So that is a fake scream. Completely silent. And I cannot
added that ADR in post.
Yes, but it doesn't. A lot of the time, if someone is just mouthing on camera, especially like when you need all of the fibers in your neck and your entire face to contort in the way of a blood curdling scream. That was very well executed.
It was really well executed. He got all the neck veins and the redness and
and the shock in the eyes and everything. Yeah. Anyway, that's the last reference we're gonna make outside of Degrassi today.
Yeah, right.
Possibly not. But anyway, this guy was he kept the earwigs at a lower temperature. They were in like a lunchbox that had ice packs in it, because the colder they are, the less active they are. Apparently, it doesn't cause them any harm. They're just they're not as squirmy and rambunctious. So I put a few in my hand when I had to throw them down on Ashley's tray. There were like 5 or 6 in there. I threw them down. Paul was like, it just doesn't read well enough. Could you put more in your hand? So by the end of it, I had to put like 20 of them in my hand, 25 of them, and I couldn't close my hand too tightly because it would hurt them, but I couldn't keep it too loose because then they would crawl through my hands and through my. So I still remember they're just
man.
Hard
Go back
and
to those memories.
Just unpleasant. It was unpleasant. I wouldn't want to do it again.
I can't even. Yeah, can't even.
Yeah, I had a handful of earwigs. But yes. Anyway, that's my story with the earwig wrangler. He was fine with how this happened, and watching him get the earwigs one by one after all of them were placed on the tray and get them back into his little, home that he made for them was pretty fun. But yes, Spinner's plan that seemed like it was so well thought through. Felt so disappointed that it backfired on him. He, instead of putting the earwigs on his own plate, as he knows no one believes him, he decides to go to the school president and put all the earwigs all over her sandwich, to then have her turn around, open up his container, find all the earwigs in there, dump that out, and who shows up once again out of thin air, but angry as ever? Miss Kwan. And she just knows that whatever commotion is happening over here, Spinner did it. She just knows.
Spinner made absolutely no effort, really, to hide his actions here. He basically does it when Ashley's not looking, and they were just talking about the earwigs.
Right.
It's so obvious. It's so
but it's also like one or two would have done it, right? It's not like you're gonna get a sandwich from the cafeteria and not see like 13 earwigs crawling all over.
Totally. You've overdone it. It's not believable at that point. It's like when I was a kid and I learned that trick, like if you put the thermometer up to a light bulb, you'll, when your mom checks it,
you have a temperature of 138.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. She was like, yeah, nice try, kid. Nice try.
No, you have to feel the light. You have to feel it's like roasting a marshmallow.
You gotta know what temperature you're going for.
Yeah,
you gotta
you
do
have
a
to get it
little
golden
bit
brown,
of
or else
research, kids.
You're gonna get burned, kid. Icarus, you're flying too close to the sun there.
Spinner's in trouble now.
Yes, well, but we don't know what his punishment is going to be yet. Strap in. It's a good one. It's a doozy. All right. And now we're in math class. Liberty is walking in with Emma. She's very apprehensive. Obviously, she hasn't seen Armstrong since she found out about this rumor. Armstrong is writing the acronym BEDMAS on the chalkboard. Now, Mike, do you remember what the BEDMAS rule is?
I think all of our listeners know BEDMAS, and we're not even going to make them relive the trauma of having to
Tell me what BEDMAS stands for then.
Multiplication.
Did you say multiplication?
Addition, subtraction.
Yeah.
No, it's brackets, exponents, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction.
That's right.
And there you go. It's been drilled in our heads.
Which you solve equations. Yes, very
That's
good.
right.
Very good.
We all
Very
know.
good. Lots of people don't know. And I think it's like called bed map. Like it's slightly different now. They changed it. Because it wasn't perfect before. Anyway. And everyone is is just staring silently, judging in their own way Armstrong, who is none the wiser. He doesn't know what he's done. Obviously, he has a good rapport with his class because this is really off-putting for him. He clocks it right away, but just decides to power on through. But when he calls on Liberty to help him with what BEDMAS is, JT cannot contain his laughter, and then the rest of the class releases. Now we really have a problem. But before Armstrong can get to the bottom of it through his own investigations, Radich is at the door with a replacement teacher and asks Armstrong to join him in his office for a private conversation. Liberty comes along too, and I really think there should have been a collective ooh from the class, but we didn't get that.
That's a good point. Yeah, true. That would have been a nice touch.
Yep.
Next time, Paul. Next time.
And then Emma quickly runs out after that.
She's got to save the day.
I thought it was hilarious that Toby and JT share a look where they're so confused. Like, why would Emma have gone there? Like, you know exactly why Emma went. Emma tells you everything. You were there for this entire thing, but like, what? I don't know. What? Yeah. What's she thinking? Is it related?
She forgot.
Yeah. Yep. We have a short memory on that show. Now we're in the office. Emma walks in, sees Liberty sitting there, wants to have a conversation with her, but Radich comes out before she could get a word out, tells Emma, this is not a good time to have a talk. You need to get back to class. I'm in the middle of something, to which Emma says, I'm in the middle of it too, which I thought was a very poor choice of words, because that could have meant so many bad things.
Yeah, no, true. Yeah. Like, I'm here as I'm a second victim, I'm a second witness. The music in this whole sequence where Radich pulls Liberty and out of Armstrong's class, it's very cinematic. It's very 80s John Hughes movie. The music is so perfect for this. It's really helping that. Jim McGrath, you did a great job of that. It's like it's like a film. I feel like
McGrath.
Is it McGrath?
McGrath.
Oh, okay. I've just been pronouncing it wrong for 20 years. No problem. I
think you did a Tim McGraw there is what you were doing.
Yeah, Jim McGrath. Yeah. So, but it really, really elevates the show in this sequence.
So Emma's in the middle of this thing, and we know what she's insinuating by that. Now, to Spinner's punishment, he has to work off the fumigation price. The price of fumigating the entire cafeteria, which obviously is infested with earwigs now, by working in the cafeteria.
$300 is very low. It's a steal.
But he has to work in the cafeteria for 2 months now.
2 months to make $300? Holy smokes!
And
inflation.
Ashley Ashley and Jimmy see him in the hairnet. Spinner dies 1,000 deaths inside. The one thing he wanted to avoid, now he's smack dab in the middle of it. He's working in the cafeteria, wearing the hairnet with lunch lady Sheila.
Spinner deserves it. He's been a real twerp this episode.
Nothing could be worse. Okay, and now we reach the final scene, Emma and Liberty. Emma is apologizing to Liberty for everything that happened, but she tries to explain how it looked from her side. She references the note, to which Liberty now, like 2 days later, still has in her pocket. But she pulls it out. It's not a note. It's a flyer on dyscalculia. And apparently Liberty has trouble keeping numbers straight in her head.
So ironic.
And Armstrong, being her math teacher, was doing whatever he could to help her out with her situation. That's why they were working closely together. That's why Armstrong was passing her this flyer. And Liberty just didn't want to tell anyone about that because she was very insecure that she could not be top dog in every aspect of academics. And finishes out with...
She puts a lot of pressure on herself.
She does. But Emma said she was just, essentially, I was just trying to help. And Liberty said a great cutting line to finish this all off, which was, Emma, why don't you go back to saving rainforests or whales? Because when it comes to helping people, you suck.
It's a really good line.
It's a good line.
It was my favorite line of every episode. I have a favorite line, and this is my favorite line of the episode. It's so good. And on Emma not knowing what to do, we freeze. Yep.
Very good episode. I like how the A plot and the B plot both
mirror each other.
They do
Thematically.
Different, a fun version and a serious version.
Yeah.
But two sides of the same coin.
And it keeps it light, right? So it's like there's the real heavy stuff, and then there's the light stuff. You gotta, it's a nice balance.
Usually the A and the B plot, the A plot embodies the title of the episode, and the B plot is just it doesn't have to relate in any way to the A, but these were intertwined in a very smart way.
Yeah, it made it really neat, and it felt all like there was a forward momentum, like a trajectory on both the plots that were very satisfyingly wrapped up in the end. Yeah, man, great episode. Really loved it. I thought it would be kind of fun this episode to go into some of the Patreon comments, because we haven't specifically talked to our lovely Patreon subscribers.
There you go.
As we mentioned, you can hit us up at patreon.com/dgrads. If you subscribe to us, you will get episodes early, and you will also have ad-free episodes. And now you will be getting video versions of the episodes, so that you can see our faces. And I need more moisturizer.
I need so much moisturizer these days.
On our last episode, the last episode we put out, which was TNG 108, Secrets and Lies, and Shane, you and I kind of got into some personal conversations, because I always love the personal conversations where Degrassi and our lives intersect, and it kind of gets us going, or gets the memories flowing. And somebody picked up on that. We were talking about accidentally outing people. Outing secrets from other people. And so Kayla jumped in here to mention that Shane, my cousin's wife, then fiance, outed my sister-in-law's pregnancy in front of everyone. Her and my brother just told me like a week before we were hanging out with our cousins, and they weren't telling on anyone other than immediate family just yet. My cousin's fiance started asking if they wanted to have kids. My sister-in-law couldn't hold back a smile and gave a slight nod. So then she was asked if they're trying to have kids now, same response. And then she was asked if she was pregnant, and then again, same response. So I gotta say, I've been in this position where it's like, people think that actors are really good liars. I am not. I cannot lie
I'm a
at
horrible
all.
liar.
If somebody asks me a direct question, like, are you pregnant or whatever? I cannot hide that on my face at all.
Everyone knows when you're pregnant, Mike.
Everyone knows when I'm pregnant, even before I'm showing. And that's just because I go beet red and I can, anyways, I just thought, Kayla,
and you stop drinking.
I stopped drinking. There you go. So I think this is very relatable, and I'm just glad that we all have had these moments in our lives.
I'm just trying. I'm picturing this nuanced little look that the sister-in-law was, or no, sorry, the cousin.
The Toby
was
look
giving.
from this episode.
Like, so are you guys thinking of having kids? Well, maybe. Like, are you trying to have kids? I mean, I don't know. Are you pregnant right now?
It's like the Toby look when Jimmy confronts Toby and says, "Wait, does Ashley want to break up with me?" And he just goes,
"Yeah." There's look, you need to cover your own ass at this point. If you don't, if the questions are getting a little too close to, the news that you don't want to share yet, you gotta find a way to redirect immediately.
I think we all collectively need to come up. Yeah, we need an out. We need some sort of like agreed on version of like, oh, look at that squirrel. We just got to have one in the back pocket.
The Men in Black memory eraser. You just
maybe
need
you
that.
Drop something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm no expert in how to handle these situations.
Just pull the fire alarm. Pull the fire alarm moment. Yeah.
Okay. Sarah Ramsey sort of tags our conversation about, screwing up the podcast and not really being able to figure out the technology well enough. And so Sarah kindly has suggested that she let us borrow one of her kids because they know absolutely everything about technology. And this just goes to my fear being a 41-year-old man now,
that the 12-year-olds can do it better.
I get onto some of these websites now and I'm confused. I don't know how to operate it. I don't know where to go. And I'm feeling like, is it an age thing that you just lose the aptitude, or is it just a newness thing that you're not?
If you're even a week behind, it's like you're a year late. Things are become outdated so quickly in tech these days that unless you're fully immersed and you really understand and you can speak the language and you're obsessed with it, there's no hope for you there. It just comes at you too fast. So, and I don't know the first thing about coding. So,
well, I guess it's just the cycle of life, right?
I guess I'm dying off.
Yeah. Rhea Mad says, we are so back, and great episode, guys. Terry is such a great friend and character. I wish her character got more stories. Ones that didn't focus on her weight or her as a victim of DV. She had so much potential. And I agree. I mean, I think she's...
Did it say victim of DV?
Yeah, DV.
What is DV?
I don't know. That must be a later storyline.
Okay. It's not like an acronym for drunk vomiting. I don't know.
Drunken? I don't know. Dude, I'm embarrassed. I got to say, I don't actually know.
You can't just breeze over
domestic
these things.
Violence. Dude, it's domestic violence.
Oh.
Yeah. Domestic violence.
Got it.
Sorry about that, folks.
Acronymized.
Yeah. Very, very true. And I look forward to seeing her character develop, however far it does. But
she had a little fire to her in this episode. She usually
yes, true.
She has a backbone. She stands up for herself, but she's usually mild mannered. She had some edge.
She stands
to her
up to
in
Emma
this episode,
which is great. She doesn't take it. She's like.
Yeah, she cut back. She cut back. Exactly.
Guess what?
It's like, I'll let my friends walk all over me, but I'll be damned if I let a 7th grader tell me.
So, that's
really
the other
is.
thing, right?
Yeah,
the age difference there.
I guess so.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, guys, we
This was
love
fun.
your comments. We love your questions. Please keep emailing us whatever you want at dgradspodcast@gmail.com. We are on Patreon, which is where we've gotten these comments, patreon.com/dgrads. And we have a Discord community, which we really want to keep tending like a nice little garden. We jump in there sometimes, and we love seeing what you guys are chatting about, all the things you're sharing, and that is DGrad's alumni. So hit us up there on our Discord community.
Yeah, and I mean, questions are great. Comments, criticize us. We would love to read
Hold
those.
us to account.
Yes, exactly. Someone has to.
And tell us what you love and all that stuff. So yeah.
Exactly. So we know we're doing a good job. We need that ego stroke. But also, yes, subscribe to us on Patreon, if you can manage it. We have a lot of bonus features available there. And now we're back in the saddle. All of there will be new things constantly. And we're very excited with how this whole thing is unfolding. Mike and I are having a lot of fun. I'm not sick of you yet, Mike. Not sick of you yet.
Who would have thunk it?
Certainly not me. It was definitely dangerous territory to broach. But you've been listening to the D-Grads podcast with your hosts, Shane Kipple and Mike LaBelle. And my friends, we will see you next week.
Bye.